Hey everybody, I just want to add this note. Prior to this video getting produced and edited, uh, we saw the passing of Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman. He was a big part of my life, basically, as a kid, and he was a big reason about the way that I have a sense of humor and the kinds of things that I like. So this will be dedicated to Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, and for various obvious reasons why, when you watch the video, you're going to be missed, man.
Rorschach's Journal. Crime is still on the rise aboard this festering space station of a toilet of a city. It's a space station. I'm looking for a new journal. This Hello Kitty notebook is getting full and sort of defeats the purpose of me being a grim avenger of the night. What's this? It looks like... Whoa! If I sew all of this back together, it'd make a heck of a great Halloween season journal.
Get upset on the internet. You're a salt adult. You're a salt adult. Get upset on the internet. You're a salt adult. Throwing out a hissy fit, your views ain't in the millions, and every up and comer is a threat to what you're dealing. And instead of getting better, you just spout up on your Facebook, crying on your Twitter bit about how bad your case look. In case you didn't get it yet, allow me to rephrase it. You cry more than my 4-year-old. I'm actually amazed. Like you couldn't even see the forest for the trees. The writings on the wall, literally there to see. How you getting salt that a culture blowing up, man? I think there was a point where you stopped growing up, man. Instead of showing up, man, irrationally mad. Don't appropriate impression like the latest fashion fad. It isn't cool or funny to be acting like an edgelord. You alienate friends, push them closer to the edge more. I don't know how to say it anyway to make it clear. If you're the one unhappy, then the problem's in the mirror. Get upset on the internet. You're a salt adult. You're a salt adult. Get upset on the internet. You're a salt adult. The net is a repository for the vast expanses of human knowledge and all the technological advances, and I can't say enough how you gotta be open-minded. If you're looking for a fight, then you damn well find it. An axe needs grinding, you're not alone. There's a million other nerds who can bitch and moan and groan about how this a release date delay of the new game. Man, decrease the cliche of your neckbeard. I'm a fear to the intensity of your love for two characters. You claim I've got some chemistry and they belong.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Retro Station 1989. I'm Commander Dan, and this is License to Play. This is a place where we educate everyone on retro video games that were based on licensed materials. You know, books, movies, video games, like from the arcade, comic books, anything. If it was based on a licensed property and it's a retro game, we evaluate it for you. And our first title, alright, of the scary season, well, actually it's the only title of the scary season because it's never too late for Halloween, is less scary than Sneak King. Thank God. I don't think I can handle the motivation module again, or that face. My God, that face. Anyway, so let's begin with... Oh, yeah, Margot?
Commander Dan, we need to get Splat under control.
What's going on?
Apparently, Splat has been crime fighting and avenging all over the retro station in his Rorschach cosplay.
He probably got carried away. No biggie. What's he done that's so crazy?
He got into a fistfight with one of the Scudder Hall bots because, quote, it was a degenerate criminal stealing from the good people of the retro station, end quote.
Wait, button collection? Weird. Oh, what button collection?
Splat described them as the buttons from the databanks in Ring 2. Apparently, he's been battling the retro station's data machines for months now as supervillains and taking the buttons as trophies.
Dude, that's not great. What's the damage?
With Splat, it's anyone's guess.
No, not to the... Oh. Good one, Margot.
Yes. I am very funny. This situation, however, is 89.8% not funny.
Splat. Splat. Hello. Little buddy. Splat. Hello. Margot, keep trying to raise Splat on comms. I'll get the evaluation started. Folks, once in a generation, a pain in the ass appears. A special pain, like a toothache in my crack. And that, for your pal Commander Dan, as usual, is our little buddy Splat. Anyway, let's take a look. A look back to the year 1992. I'm soon to be a senior in high school, and guess what? R-rated movies were a go. And I took advantage of my age and saw every R-rated movie in that year, people. I was the original rated R superstar. On this day... No, I don't want to get tagged with a copyright claim. I'm just kidding. Welcome aboard, Edge, to AEW. I cannot wait to see you. It's going to be rad, but I'm still the first rated R superstar because I saw everything. I'm not kidding. As a youth group Christian churchy kid, I had to catch R-rated flicks in the middle of the night on Skinamax or Skin Time or HB Skin. Look, being a good kid meant a lot of catching side boob on the sly. So 1992 was incredible. Bram Stoker's Dracula, Basic Instinct, Reservoir Dogs, Last of the Mohicans, A Few Good Men, Unforgiven, Alien 3, Army of Darkness, My Cousin Vinny, The Bodyguard, Glengarry Glen Ross, The Lawnmower Man, and we'll get to that another time. Just you wait. Patriot Games, Dead Alive, Fire Walk With Me, Candyman, Leprechaun, The Crying Game. And while the boobs were on a dude transitioning to a lady, they were still boobs. Boobs are boobs, man. All right? When you're that age, boobs are boobs. Where was I? Oh yeah, Under Siege, Sleepwalkers, Ew, White Men Can't Jump, Universal Soldier, Juice, Poison Ivy. Dude, 1992 was epic. And I was old enough to see whatever was out, and if it was R-rated, I was there. Okay? Folks, being Gen X means that we didn't soften movies to get kids money. We took the cash straight from the perverted teens' aces. You understand? But there was a PG-13 flick that I saw that I kind of liked, but couldn't figure out why. At the time, I thought it was because, well, I was a Gen Xer who honestly was over everything basic-ass PG-13 flicks out there had to offer. And the movie was the kind of thing we'd mock ruthlessly, like Cop Rock. Oh, and check Alison Pregler's review if you don't know what that is. Anyway, I went to see it, but I ended up checking out something else instead. So, I thought I would like it, but I never saw it. I didn't see the movie first run. I saw it on HBO. Well, anyway, here's the skinny on the movie. A cheerleader from the Valley in California finds out that she is a slayer, and her name is Buffy. That's not a nickname, people. 2 adults made a child and then named it Buffy. This is called child abuse, and it is not right. Every year, 150 children are born with an avoidable malady. That malady? An asshole name. Buffy's, Barbie's, Bryce's, Gandalf's, Flowers's, boy or girl, Apple's. There's a kid named Apple out there right now. They are across all races and creeds. Ignorant-ass parents are dooming their children to mediocre lives by giving them the names you'd avoid calling a labradoodle that you didn't particularly like. You don't have to give us $1 a month or anything. What do you need to do to prevent these tragedies? Don't name your kids stupid shit. So, Buffy, Biffy, Buffy, and Baffy, her friends, I don't remember their names. Doesn't matter, just that one of them was the $1 Million Babies, I guess, or whatever, who got killed by Clint Eastwood. I don't know. These people are inconsequential. They're partying when the coolest man from the Second World War, Donald Sutherland, shows up. Don't believe me? Here, I've showed this before.
Where are you from, son?
Madison City, Missouri, sir.
Never heard of it.
Donald Sutherland is playing Merrick. Not that Merrick Cambot, that's the Elephant Man. What? No, humans do not all look alike, especially not that human, you spacist. Anyway, Buffy and the Boofers meet Pike and Benny at the movies, who bail because the Valley Pack are kind of ruining their lives at the movies. Benny and Pike split up after the movie, but Benny gets turned into a vampire boy because his movie knows... That's right. So, Pike decides to lam it, leave town. Meanwhile, Merrick lets Buffy know she's the Slayer, the generational hunter of vampires, and pass cross when Merrick and Buffy rescue Pike from a gang of vampires led by Lothos, played by Rutger Hauer, who rocks. I mean, in everything. I won't spoil the ending for you, but dudes, the movie called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and guess what it's not called? It's not called Lothos the Wacky Vampire Who Killed a Broad named Buffy. Alright, but I think Joss Whedon would have liked that title. So honestly, I only kind of like the movie because Paul Rubin's death scene must be seen to be believed, and I think is still going on even as we speak. So I thought the movie was alright, but not that good. Sad, but true. I thought I knew every damn thing when I was 17, like everyone else who's ever been 17, but I was sure the person who wrote the Buffy movie really liked the smell of their own damn farts. Or was a hugely problematic sexist turd. No, I'm kidding. I don't really have psychic powers.
Message. For you, Commander. The Supreme Leader of Planet X is sending us an ethergram of the victory speech. We should have it soon.
Any luck finding Splat?
Affirmative, Commander. Splat is in the waste trench in Ring 1 doing crafts. For some reason.
Uh-huh. I'm sure it's fine, right?
Commander, would you like to hear the percentage odds that it is not at all fine?
You know very well I do not. Anyway, this week, of course, we're talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's 5 years later. With the director of the movie now the producer of the television show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer began on the small screen in 1997. Joss and Warner Brothers produced a pilot. Do you know who helped fund it, of all people? Dolly Parton. A genuine saint and badass, and possibly the only flawless human God ever managed to produce on accident. Yeah, come at me, bro. Jolene is one of the greatest songs ever written. Whether her singing it, or anyone else, or even Jack White from the White Stripes singing it. Did you know that Dolly gave her entire song library to a dying former lover who treated her awful, and wrote a song specifically to pay for their medical care? And do you know what that song was? I won't play it, but you'll know it when I say the title. I Will Always Love You. That's right. Whitney sang it, and it was amazing. If she put money into Buffy, that probably means the show was really going to be worth a damn. And, yeah, it was. I was a grown man when the show came out, and just hearing that the new station, the WB, had a show based on a movie I found interesting but not particularly good, didn't impress me all that much. I gotta be truthful here. It took my dear friend and fellow gamer Lauren to invite me to a movie night, where the prelims happened to be the watching of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The episode was Superstar, the one where Jonathan of the Creep Gang, the trio, right, created a sex robot that Buffy was going to do battle with. That wasn't this episode. And they had changed reality itself to make Jonathan the hero of the whole TV show, including a full credit sequence where Jonathan is the lead. It's as creepy as you can imagine a dude who gets to fanfic their own life would be, but it's also perfect. The show was so well done. It was fantastic. I was utterly impressed and became a fan. After a few weeks, I got all caught up because TNT was showing the old episodes in the morning, and in the early evening, they were showing last week's episode. The show revolves around the concept that our world has protectors from the forces of evil, called Slayers. Young women who have the strength and training to put down those forces. And a group of men and women called Watchers, specially trained mortals to battle evil and support the training of the Slayers. They guide the Slayers to the evil, and then they watch them. Well, they kick evil in the nads. I don't know. That's what they mostly watch, sometimes. Anyway, Buffy Summers is aided by Rupert Giles and her friends, Xander Harris and Willow Rosenberg, and then eventually Oz, a werewolf, and Cordelia Chase, a cheerleader who was a social adversary to Buffy in Season 1. The show was a monster of the week, and even called the boss monster each season the Big Bad. Angel, a vampire with a soul, was even the Big Bad for one of the best seasons the show ever had. This show had a 6-year run, with highs and lows. Looking at you, Adam. Wah, wah. And nearing the end of its run, a game was created by EA for the original Xbox. Now, here's the funny thing. It was a side story that seems to take place between Seasons 1 and 2, where the Scoobies and Buffy square off with an ancient evil who uses her friends and old enemies, Spike and Drusilla, against her, and resurrects the Big Bad from Season 1, the Master. EA plus Buffy the Vampire Slayer at the height of their popularity? What could possibly go wrong? Seriously, at the height of the two shows' popularity on television, they had calendars, toys, and of course video games. The one we're talking about is the first one on the list, Buffy the Vampire Slayer for Xbox by Electronic Arts and Fox Interactive. Now I'm sure you're wondering, if it was so popular, why did they wait so long after the Xbox's release to create it? And, probably, why is it based on a Season 1 and 2 side story? Well, before we get to an evaluation of the game, let's talk about its development to get those answers. The game was in development in late 2000 for the PlayStation and Windows, but was canceled when the Dreamcast came out and had far more power to make the game resemble the show. But the Dreamcast was on the way out in 2001 while the game was still in production, and so the project went the way of the original Xbox, like a lot of third-party titles being designed for the Sega platform. Same thing happened with Shenmue, which was a first-party title for the Dreamcast at the time, and Shenmue 2, while it was planned for the Dreamcast, came out on the Xbox instead in America. So the delays for the game caused a plot that was originally meant for a side story between seasons 1 and 2 ended up being released closer to the finales of both Buffy the Vampire Slayer and its spin-off Angel. I understand that, Margot, but I'm just worrying that he's, going to do something phenomenally stupid and destructive, and we're going to get fucked at... Oh, hey, we're back. Yeah, unlike some of the games we've evaluated, the delays in production weren't based on licensees being overly protective or the subject matter being difficult to translate to video games. Nope, it was just the lightning advancement of gaming technology at the turn of the century.
Hey, boss, where do we keep the interior white marking paint?
Splat? Oh, good to hear from you, buddy. Oh, I think we got that in Ring 1's supply hold.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Of course. Wait, Splat?
Oh, great. Commander, where do we keep our tallow candles made of human fat?
Oh, those are in the... Wait. We don't have those. At least I hope we don't.
Okay, I'll make do with birthday candles. I guess that means we don't have any basalt plinths with runic carvings dedicated to the Deadites either.
No, we do not. Splat! Where'd you go? Margot, please raise Splat on the comms.
Attempting, Commander. I'm sorry, Commander. His signal is blocked somehow.
Not good. Cambot Jr., find the little spud and make sure he's not doing what I'm worried he's absolutely doing. Because if he is putting back together that stupid asshole Necronomicon, we're doomed. And while we're preventing another Hollywood disaster with a capital Aster, watch this, and we'll wrap this fiasco up. The self-titled Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a single-player game by the Collective in Electronic Arts, in the before time. The before the nickel and diming of their customers with slot machines and crap time. The long, long ago. I mean, it was 2 decades ago. Released in August of 2002, the game features Buffy, Willow, Xander, Giles, Cordelia Chase, and Angel as the heroes, and the villains from the show you'd recognize. Spike and Drusilla, and the Master, the big bad from Season 1. And all the characters are voiced by their television actor counterparts. Thomas Nagoski and Christopher Golden, writers of a lot of the Buffyverse novels, heck, I think they wrote all of them, wrote the game along with Richard Hare, a video game industry writer. So the script kinda comes off as a try-hard Joss Whedon fan script, but it's not offensively so. The voice actors do put in the effort, though. That's what elevates the kind of, try-hard material into something more akin to a possible TV special, maybe? Anyway, this is not Peter Dinklage in Destiny, okay? If that gives you an idea of the voice acting. They actually care. And the graphics are, well, they're going to remind you of another license-to-play evaluation, Dark Angel. They're serviceable, and some of the textures and surfaces are reused a lot. Enemy design isn't inventive, and the game isn't exactly scary, but it does a job of giving you what ends up being a TV-level side story. This happens more often than not with TV adaptations in this generation of games and consoles, and it kind of bugs me. Video games, we all know, can do anything. You can push the boundaries of the show, add things that can't be done on TV. But nope, there's a show Bible, and for whatever reason, the video game storyline and set pieces are slavish to a television show budget for some reason. The plot is probably the shining pinnacle for this game, which I won't spoil here beyond saying, imagine a Buffyverse fanfiction written by an author who really cares and didn't create an author insert character, but it's very well written and makes a lot of sense. In short, a big bad tries to kill off the Slayer and you're supposed to think it's the Master, but it's, like I said, it's fun if you're a Buffy fan, and part of the fun with the twists and turns of the story with the characters you like in the game, and this game nails that. So, let's talk controls. The controls in this game are solid. There's a little combo system, there's throwing around the vampires and impaling them on walls. It's really a lot like Soul Reaver, the Legend of Kain sequel, and the sound and music is first rate. Now, if you take all of that together, the production, the sound, the controls, and we add it all together, there's only one question left. And that question we have to ask ourselves is, does Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the Xbox and the PS2 have a license to play? Yes, it does. Well, if you're a fan of the show, because like I said, the story isn't modern, really. It's a season 1 story. So if you like a side story of the Buffy series and you're a fan like I am, yeah, absolutely, check it out. You know, and basically, yes?
Commander Dan, the Scutterbots can't find Splat anywhere on the station, but that ought to be impossible.
Don't worry, Cambot Jr. We'll get Margo on the case. He's got to be around here somewhere, right? Right?
I'm here to tell you a story about a man created by God. No! A man created by Hollywood. Not MacGyver, not Vin Diesel, not Stallone, not Schwarzenegger. I'm talking about David Arquette. The man is invincible. He was in Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3. If they make a Scream 4, he's coming back as a goddamn cyborg. He was in Ready to Rumble, and he was a WCW champion for 2 weeks. He was an 8-legged freak who repelled giant spiders. Giant spiders, for God's sakes! He was also in C-Spot Mun, but only because he needed the money. And that's why... You cannot kill David Arquette! You cannot kill David Arquette!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna tell you a little bit more about the man. We're gonna drop some science on your weak asses. Have you ever seen the movie Titanic? He is nothing like that whatsoever. David Arquette is equal parts adamantium and superfly. He is a trained ninja from the Shinobi Institute of Ninjutsu and has mastered every single one of David Lee Roth's acrobatic jumps. In a sad, sorry world, there's only 2 things you can count on. 1, an up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. They give you 30 lives on Contran. And number 2 is... that you cannot kill David Arquette! You hear what I'm saying? You cannot kill David Arquette!
The man is the closest anyone will ever be to having a friend's threesome. He has done things to Courtney Cox that would make Santa blush.
If you play the Beatles' White Album backwards, it goes... David lives, David lives.
He has written, directed, and starred in his own one-man version of the movie Tron.
He is responsible for everything. Fire,
Arquette.
the wheel,
Arquette.
electric toothbrush,
Arquette. He is the reason Jason Newsted left Metallica.
3 rings from the Elven Kings under the sky, 7 for the Dwarf Lords and their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men due to die, and 1 for David Arquette.
The Bible spelled backwards does not change the fact that you cannot kill